Hello students, in this lecture we are going to learn electrical energy, or you can say electrical potential energy. So basically electrostatic potential energy, if you have a system of charges or system of point charges, you can say. So the electrostatic potential energy of that system of point charges, it is defined as the amount of work done to assemble that system of charges by bringing those charges from infinity to their present location. It means suppose your charges are kept at infinity, and the amount of work done to bring those charges from infinity to that point is called as the electrostatic potential energy. So there can be two cases. Suppose that point does not have any external field, and the other cases the point can have an external field. So the first case we'll consider a system of two charges and there is no external field there. So first of all, consider two charges Q1 and Q2. They are kept at infinity. Then to bring that charge Q1 to some position A where there is no external field. So as there is no external field, the work done here will be 0. Okay. So to bring the charge Q1 to position A, no work is done because there is no external field. Now already Q1 is there. So the potential at that point due to Q1 will be given by this formula, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R1. Okay. So now as Q1 charge is there, some field is created. Now you have to bring the other charge Q2 from infinity to the point B. Now when you are bringing this charge Q2 to the point B, from infinity to point B, now already because of charge Q1 some potential is there, some field is there, so it is going to act. So work done, we have basically learned that work done per unit charge is called potential. So the work done will be potential at B due to Q1 charge which was already there into Q2. So we had seen that potential due to Q1 is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R12 into this charge Q2. So now this work done is stored as potential energy. So the potential energy for this system of two charges will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12. Now this was just a simple system having 2-point charges. Now if you consider n number of charges, so initially we had seen that to bring charge Q1 there was no work done because the point was free from some external field. Now Q1 charge is there, Q1 creates its own field. So when you are bringing Q2 at that point, so that charge Q2 will face that field. It will have to do some work against that field which we just now saw. Now if you are bringing charge Q3, so when you are bringing charge Q3, so already there are charge Q1 and Q2. Q1 is creating its own field, Q2 is creating its own field. Both of them have their individual potentials. So the charge Q2, the work has to be done against these two charges Q1 and Q2 to bring that charge Q3. So you can just summarize this thing here. That is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R13. So this is the potential due to the charge Q1. Now this potential into Q3. Now this is the work done against charge Q1, and similar, this is the work done against charge Q2. So taking out this common constant and you have in bracket this value. So if you multiply Q3 inside, you will get this formula. Now this we have considered that we are bringing a third charge. Now similarly, if you are bringing the fourth charge, then the work has to be done against the field created due to charge Q1, then field created due to charge Q2, and field created due to charge Q3. So as many charges you go on bringing, तो उसको वहां पे स्टेबल करने के लिए आपको जो पहले वहां पे चार्जेस थे हर किसी की अगेंस्ट यू हैव देयर इज सम वर्क डन. So you can just summarize it with a final formula, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation of Qj Qk divided by Rjk. So this is the potential energy for a system of n number of charges. Now we were saying that there is no external field present at that point. But now if we consider that already there is some external field, अभी वहाँ पे पहले से ही कुछ एक external field है, and you have to bring a single point charge from infinity to that point where there is external field. Now, in such case, the work done will be that charge q into this potential, because due to that external field, some potential will already be there. So that potential into the charge will be the work done. Now, this is for a single point charge. Now, if you consider two charges, now there are two charges and some work, there is some external field there. Now, first you have to bring q1 to point P and their external field is there. So q1 into the potential due to that field. Now, you have to bring charge q2 in that external field, the second charge. Then the work done will be, first of all, work done against that external field, which will there be in every case, plus the work done against the field due to q1. अभी already q1 वहाँ पे है तो वो भी एक field create करेगा. So the summation of these two work done. Now this we can write here q2 VR2, because this charge is q2, which we are bringing the second charge, and this the work done against the field due to q1 will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12. Now the total potential energy, now this potential energy was this work done was for bringing the second charge, and this one was for bringing the first charge. So the total potential energy of the system will be the sum of the work done to bring the first charge plus the work done to bring the second charge. So this is the total potential energy of a system of two charges in an external field. Now you can see the next one, that is potential energy of a dipole in external field. Now just consider this as an external field, and this is a dipole, the drawn in red color. Now, as you know, dipole is a system of two equal and opposite charges separated by a distance. So this is charge minus q, this is plus q, and the distance is 2l. Now the torque acting on the dipole, as you have learned torque in your previous standard, 11th standard, you can just revise that topic once. So the torque acting on the dipole, you will see that it is dipole moment to the external field. So the magnitude you can write as PE sine of theta. Now you just assume that there is an external torque is applied, and when that external torque is applied, dipole rotates from a position of angle theta naught to theta. So let the initial position be theta naught, and when you apply some external field, the final position is theta. So the work done by the external torque will be written like this, that is, it is integral of the external torque into d theta, and the upper and lower limits will be theta naught and theta. The lower limit is theta naught and upper limit is theta. So you can see that torque is P sine theta. Then as this P, dipole moment, and E, these are constant. So you will take integral of sine theta d theta. So integration of sine theta is minus cos theta. So when you apply this upper limit and lower limit, so upper limit minus the lower limit. So you will get this formula PE cos theta naught minus cos theta. So basically this is the this work done is stored as the potential energy of that dipole in an external field. So you can just consider that the zero potential energy as per your convenience, that is u of theta, you can consider as 0. So this is your potential energy. Now if you consider that two cases you can consider. If the initial position, that is theta naught, if it was perpendicular to the field, then this theta naught will be pi by 2. And if you substitute pi by 2 here, cos of 90 is 0. So the potential energy will be minus PE. And if you consider that the dipole was aligned with the external electric field, so your theta naught will be 0 and cos of 0 is 1. So you will get this formula, u of theta is equal to PE 1 minus cos of theta. So these are just small basic concepts. You can just, if you find it too long, you can just split it into 5 parts and learn it easily. Useful for your board exams as well as for your competitive exams also. So that's all about today. Thank you so much.